All right, let's jump in. We've got some info here on a really foundational piece of gunpla history, a specific kit.
That's right. We're looking at the HGUC 1144 YMS-15 Gyan. And yeah, its spot in the lineup is, well, pretty significant. It was actually the second kit ever in the high-grade Universal Century line.
The HGUC line, yeah. For anyone maybe not deep into the history, Bandai started that back in '99. It was the 20th anniversary of Mobile Suit Gundam, and the whole idea was, take those classic UC suits.
And give them an update with the engineering they had back then, of course.
Exactly, bring them up to speed.
And they really didn't hang about. The HGC gun cannon was #1, and then boom, almost right away they followed up with this Gyan. Very distinct Xeon design.
So thinking about this kit specifically, HGUC number 002, what are the key details we have, like release, price?
Okay, so the sources confirm it launched right at the start, July 1999, and the price back then was 800 Japanese yen.
800 yen. Pretty affordable, really.
Yeah, definitely accessible for the time.
And standard HG scale, 1144. What's the actual build size on that?
Let's see. It comes out to roughly 13.82 centimeters tall. Just a standard retail release, part of that first wave celebrating the original Gundam series under the, the new HGUC brand.
Okay, now, being from '99, the engineering's going to be different. The notes mention color separation relies a lot on the plastic colors themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you wanted that perfect anime look, you were definitely reaching for the paints back then, more so than now. Anyway.
Right. And articulation, what are we talking?
It's definitely of its time. Torso is static, elbows get maybe 90 degrees of bend, and the skirt armor is all one fixed piece.
Which is accurate to the Gyan's look, but yeah, limits the leg posing quite a bit.
It does, very much so.
But here's something interesting the source highlights. Even with those early HG limitations, they specifically designed it to capture the suit's look and key moments. It actually comes with a special hand.
Yeah. An angled right hand, purely for recreating that famous fencing thrust pose McCoy does. It really leans into the Gyan's whole identity.
That's pretty neat attention to detail for kit number 2.
It is. And you also get his big round shield that attaches to the forearm and 4 separate little hide bomb parts. So you could add some, deployed mines to a display base or something.
Which is pretty cool dedication for such an early kit. If you enjoy hearing about these details and the history behind them, definitely consider subscribing so you catch all our deep dives.
So yeah, everything you needed was in the box. The Gyan parts, the beam saber with its effect piece, the shield, those hands, including the special posing one, the 4 bombs, and a sticker sheet for markings.
Okay, so that's the kit itself. But stepping back, what about the YMS-15 Gyan as a mobile suit? The background there is pretty interesting too.
Oh, for sure. It's from the original One-Year War, a prototype mobile suit. Zumad Company built it.
Right, and it was actually in a competition, wasn't it? Head-to-head against the MS-14 Gelgoog from Zeonic.
Exactly. Competing to be Zeon's next main mass-production mobile suit. And the Gyan was, well, very focused.
How so?
Engineered purely for close-quarters combat. High performance, but really specialized. Its main weapon was the beam saber. The shield was kind of secondary, though it did have missiles and those hide bombs built in.
And the design itself is so unique, very knightly, like a European knight.
It is. And that's often said to reflect the tastes of its main pilot, Colonel McCoy. The info confirms he piloted one of the prototypes.
In his famous last stand against Amuro in the Gundam.
Yeah. That's the one. But ultimately, despite the Gyan's performance in its niche, Zeon went with the Gelgoog.
Why was that? The Gelgoog won the contract.
Yeah. And the thinking apparently was versatility. The Gelgoog could handle beam rifles in close combat well. It was just more adaptable for a mass-produced unit, the Gyan being so specialized.
Was seen as maybe too much of a tactical liability if you needed troops who could do more than just fence?
Pretty much. They needed something more flexible for the wider battlefield.
Okay, so wrapping things up a bit. We've looked at the specifics of this early HGUC Gyan kit number 002, July 99, 800 yen, about 13.8 centimeters tall, its vintage features.
And also the story of the YMS-15 Gyan suit itself, McCoy, the competition with the Gelgoog, and its place as this really early significant HGUC release.
Thinking about all that, the early engineering, maybe the painting needed, the limited articulation compared to modern kits.
But also its historical weight, being number 2, and that focus on capturing iconic moments like the fencing pose.
How does that old school charm strike you now? What parts of a vintage kit experience like this do you find appealing or maybe just interesting compared to the gunplay